Hi and welcome back to Free Edu Hub. Today in our module number 6, we are doing a challenge lab on migrating a database to Amazon RDS. So it's AWS Academy Cloud Architecting certification, and the scenario is a cafe again. And the task is to migrate the existing database into an Amazon RDS. So in this lab, it would take us beyond simply creating a database. You'll experience the real world process of moving data from a self-managed environment to a managed relational database in AWS. You'll practice to configure RDS, setting up connectivity, and migrating application data, while ensuring that the new steps remain secure, scalable, and highly available. So towards the end of the lab, you'll gain practical skills that mirror the cloud architect, the kind of operations that they do from day to day, like modernizing the applications by moving the databases into the AWS with a minimal downtime. And that's what we'll see towards the end of the lab. So that's what they're talking about. This one lab overview is that we are using a MariaDB, and it's an EC2 instance to Maria database that runs on Amazon RDS. We'll be creating an RDS database instance, and then we'll export the MariaDB database using MySQL dump. So we'll be running a command in order to dump the data, and then we'll migrate the services to RDS. Now, that's a typical scenario where you will be migrating an EC2 based MariaDB service to an RDS. It's just like migrating a infrastructure as a service to platform as a service, but in a real-time environment, we usually, whenever we are transferring the databases, we migrate the dump and the schema of the data in order to migrate the services, and that's what exactly we'll do, but in their cloud environment. Now, that's what they are showing, that at the end of the lab, you'll cancel the MariaDB and you'll migrate the services through port 3306. Keep an eye on this thing. I'll be explaining about it, that we'll have to explicitly define this port, and then we'll have to make sure that it's not available to everyone. We need to keep it only for the communication through this port, so that not everyone from outside the organization can access it, because it's a security concern. And then we'll be looking at the secrets manager, how they are transferred and how we are maintaining all those things. So the duration of this one is around 80 minutes, but we'll try to finish it well before that. So a business request creating an RDS instance for the cafe application, and then task 1 would be creating an RDS instance. So it would be very much similar to the guided lab that we did earlier. So you can do that one first, and then we'll be working on this one. So copy some of these details and let's start the lab now. So just like we did earlier, we'll type in RDS here, and we'll select Aurora and RDS, and then we'll look on the left hand side for databases. And then we'll click on create a database, and in this one we'll select MariaDB. Then we'll scroll down, it's showing you the version of MariaDB that would be used, and then we'll select dev test. Now for the DB instance identifier name, we'll go to our instructions manual and we'll copy this name from here, and then we'll paste it here. Just make sure that there are no empty spaces after this one. Then we'll scroll down, we'll keep it admin, and then I'll click self-managed over here, and then we'll enter the master password. So for master password, we'll go to the instruction manual again, and we'll copy the password from here, and we'll paste the password. Then we'll select burst table over here. I'm not making any changes. Under storage type, I'm gonna select GP2, and I'm gonna change the storage allocated to 20 GB. Then we'll scroll down, and I'm not making any changes here, and I'm simply selecting lab VPC over here. Scroll down, and under existing VPC, I'm gonna select DBSG, and I'm gonna uncheck default. Under availability zone, just make sure you're selecting US East 1A. Then we'll scroll down, additional configuration, make sure it's 3306 because that's the database port. Then we'll scroll down and under monitoring, just make sure that you have unchecked enable enhanced monitoring. We are not going to make any changes and simply click on create database. Now again, just like in the guided lab, it's going to take some time, so just wait for it to be ready. And if it shows you this one, you can simply press cancel and you can dismiss these notifications also and refresh it. Just wait for a while. Now in the meantime, it is preparing the database. It's always better to create a notepad file similar to this one where you're entering RDS and MariaDB details. So we just copied the admin and the password for this one. We'll be copying the URL for it later. But where would you find the MariaDB username and password? Now, if you remember in our last lab, we work on the secrets manager. So we'll go over there and we'll try to find the username and password on that one. So we opened another tab and I'm gonna type secrets manager and I'm gonna click on this one. It would show us the secrets username and password over here. So if I'm gonna copy the username, so I'll click on user and then I'll click on retrieve secret value, and on plain text, as you can see that the username is root. So I'll open my notepad file and I'll enter the username and root. Now we need to find the password, so we'll click on password on this one, retrieve secret value, and we'll copy the password from here as well and we'll paste it on our notepad file. And finally, if you want to find the URL, you'll click on this one and not here but retrieve secrets, and you can get the URL from here as well. I'll copy and paste it on my notepad file. For this one, just make sure that it is copied properly over here without any spaces. So we were working on it and we have completed this part and we have created the database. Now we are going to task 2, analyzing the existing café application and deployment. So we'll browse to EC2 console in instances and then we'll be clicking on café server and we'll type in the details as directed over here. So once that's done, we'll go to EC2 instances, which is task number 2, and click on EC2 instances, and here you can see that there is only one instance running. We'll click on that one, and here you can see we worked on it in our previous lab. You can see the instance is running, so we'll click on the instance ID and we'll copy the IP address of this instance from here. Then we'll open another tab, and if you'll enter the address over here, it would show you hello from web server, but we'll type in front of it over here as café/café and press enter, so it would load the website which we worked on last time. Now if you'll click on different tabs, you can see that it's working, and if you'll click on the menu items, it has a list of menu items here. You can click and check the order history also, and you can go to menu and we can increase the number of items here, and let's try to place an order, and if you'll submit it, you can see that order has been submitted here as well. So we just confirmed that first of all, the database is running. The second thing is your Apache service working, and it's even saving all the details on the database. So let's go back to our instructions, and they're saying that add some items. We submitted the order, and now they want us to connect to the instances through the Connect Session Manager, and for that we'll go back to our console. So once you are here, click on your instances, select the instance, and simply press connect over here. In this one, we'll click on Session Manager, and then press connect. So it would open another tab where you'll be able to see a terminal window where you can type in commands and pass the instructions to your RDS. Now since the session manager is open, we are going to copy the instructions from here and paste it there. So in this one, simply paste the instructions here and press enter. So as you can see that it gave you a sudo su user access and you are EC2 user, and if you're asking it that who are you, so it's telling that it's a EC2 instance user and it's in home directory with EC2 user. So here they are explaining that the first command gives you a bash shell access, and then the second command would switch your session to the root user and EC2 instance, and the third command would switch the EC2 user account, and the fourth command should return the output that confirms that you are connected as the EC2 user, and we have seen that. Now we are proceeding to task number 3, which talks about working with the database on EC2 instance. So next we are going to copy these commands and we are going to run over there. So paste the commands here and you can see the status of your MariaDB that it's running, and further you can check MySQL version as well. So it's telling you that the version of MariaDB that you're using is 10.2.38. So after that, it's asking us to go to secrets manager. We already copied the username and passwords from there earlier, and then it's saying to pass in the following command, and we'll copy and paste it. And I'm gonna paste the command here and press enter. Now it's asking for a password. So for password, remember we maintained this file, and since we are on MariaDB, so this would be the password here. So we'll copy it from here and paste it here and press enter. So after that, it took the username and password. They're saying to copy these commands, so it would show the databases and it would use the café database to show the table and the orders which are there in the database itself. So we'll paste the commands here, and as you can see, it showed us the details in that orders table. Next they are saying to copy this command. We'll copy it from here, and to show the orders line items, we'll be running it. Each order number has row for each number, so that would be the output of this one. So we'll paste it over here and press enter. So we saw the order values as well. Then we'll simply press exit to exit from here. Now in next step, it's asking us to run the following command. We'll run this command, and then it would ask for a password, and we'll paste the password from the secret manager that we copied earlier. So I'll paste the command here and press enter. Now it's asking for the password, and I'll again use the dumps of my secrets manager. I'm gonna copy this password from here and I'll paste it here and press enter. So as you can see that we are connected to Café server again. Then we'll press ls to see that if it has really dumped the files, and you can see the file over here. Now we are dumping the data from our MariaDB because we want to migrate it to RDS. So that's why we have created this file where we have all the data from this database in this one. So since we have already dumped the data over here, the next step would be to import it on our RDS database. So now if we'll go back to our RDS database, you know that we created it earlier and it's available now, and if we'll click on this one, we can see the endpoint address of this one. So we'll copy it from here and we will paste it on our secrets manager dump file that we created earlier so that we can easily make modifications to this one. Next on the instructions page, they are saying press cat and type in this command to see the contents of the file. So we'll paste it here and press enter. So you can see the contents of the file up here. So once that's done, let's start working on task number 4, working with RDS database. So now we have dumped the data from MariaDB and we are going to migrate it to RDS. So now they're saying that in this task, the first answer the questions, you can do it yourself, answer the questions, you can get some tips for them over here and try to solve the questions based on the tips that they have provided you. So then we'll go to our RDS database, and you remember we copied the endpoint from here. Now we'll go under security and we'll click on this security group. So we need to check the security group ID. We'll click on this one, and if we'll click on outbound rules, you can see that for this instance it's allowing all the traffic on all ports and the destination addresses for everyone over here. Further, if you look on inbound rules, you don't have any rules over here, so we'll have to define some rules in here. So just be clear about this thing, that if we don't have the inbound rules over here, your EC2 instance will not be able to communicate with your RDS. So in order to fix it, we'll click on edit inbound rules. Then we'll click at a rule over here. In the type, we'll select MySQL Aurora. Just make sure that the range is 3306. Now it's very important to understand this thing where it's talking about source as custom, and if we'll select it, for example, if we'll select anywhere IPv4 or v6, it means that we are giving it an open access to everyone over the internet. Now, since it is only, or it should be only accessible to your EC2 instance, so we'll select your EC2 instance from here where you want it to communicate with. So you'll look under security group and you are going to select this one so that it can only communicate with your EC2 instances. Once that's done, just press save rules. And as you can see, an inbound security group rule has been generated. Then we'll go to the instructions manual and we'll read the tip number 1 and we'll try to connect to this MySQL database. We'll have to change the RDS endpoint. So we'll copy it from here. Now, as you remember, we copied the details up here. So now it would help us that if we want to run this command and it's asking for the café URL, we'll simply copy it over here and we'll replace the RDS endpoint with this one. Now we can simply copy the entire command and paste it on our console. So once it's copied, we'll paste the command over here and press enter. Now it's asking for the password, and for the password also we'll use this password from here and we'll paste it here and press enter. So we are connected to it. And if we want to see the details, we'll type in show databases and press enter. It showed us the databases which are there on our database. After that, we'll press exit to exit from here. So we did this and then it showed us these details, and we are proceeding to new business requirements, which is challenge number 3. So now let's try to test that if we have dumped the files and if we'll stop the database, will it really affect our website or not? So for that, we are going to stop MariaDB database here. So I'll type in a command sudo service MariaDB stop, press enter. And now we'll pass the same command and we'll check status of it and press enter. And as you can see over here, it's stopping Maria database and it has stopped the Maria database over here. Now we'll go to the website and we'll try to see the contents, like if it's still loading it, because if the database is down, it should not be able to get anything on the menu items. So since we are on the website, and if I'll try to refresh this one, Let's see what happens. And as you can see that since we have stopped the database, now it's not able to communicate with the database and it's not listing any order history. Even if I'll click on menu items, it would refuse the connection because since we have stopped the service, it's not able to retrieve anything from there. So it's always recommended that whenever you are migrating the services, you should first stop the services and then migrate the services. So we have just stopped the service. Now we'll start the migration services to RDS. So we have finished that part, starting the task number 5. So it's asking us to import the data test into RDS. So we have just stopped our Maria database. Now we need to import the data from there into our RDS, and it is giving us this URL. So we'll have to change the RDS endpoint over here, and for that we are going to use our password file. And in this one, first of all, we'll paste the new command that they just told us, and we need to replace this RDS endpoint in this one. So we'll replace it with this one which we copied earlier. So we'll take it from here and we'll change this one to the address that we have, and then we'll copy this command from here and we'll go back to our console and we'll paste the command over here and press enter. Now it's asking for the password. Now password is also over here, so we'll copy the password from here and we'll paste the password and then press enter. So it is connected to our EC2 user café server. After that, they are asking us to run this command to confirm that the data was imported. So we'll copy it from here, and again we'll use our password file and we'll paste the command that we need to run, and we are going to copy this URL from here again and we'll replace it with the address here. Now we'll copy the command and we'll go to our console and we'll enter the password here, the URL. Again it would ask us for the password. We'll copy the password from here again, and you can see that we are connected to MariaDB. In point number 41, they are asking us to run the command just to see that if the data was imported or not. So we'll paste the command here and press enter, and you can see the data which is coming from the database. After that, press exit over here to exit from there. Next, they are saying that you can go back to the website and see that if the data has been restored or not. Since you remember, when we were changing over from MariaDB to RDS, we stopped the MariaDB and it showed that it has refused the connection. So if we refresh the same page, let's see if it's able to load the items here or not. But as you can see that it's still not loading the data from here. The reason is that we haven't updated the secret manager. Secret manager still has the old username and password and details, so we'll have to go over there and fix it before it would load the data from the new RDS. So again, we will type here secrets manager, press enter. It would show us the details, for example the user if we'll click on this one, and if we'll retrieve the secret value, you can see that it's root, whereas on our password file we had the username as admin. So we'll have to replace all these details of MariaDB on our secrets manager to these details which were there on our MariaDB database. So we'll replace the root user with the admin, and in order to do that we'll have to click on edit. Just make sure that there are no extra spaces before and after. Press save, and then we'll go to secrets again and we'll click on the password and we'll copy the password from here, copy it, and then click on retrieve secret value, click on edit and paste the password over here, save. Again, we'll go back to secrets and we'll click on URL, and then we'll go to our URL for the café database. We'll copy it from here, and then we'll retrieve the secret value, click on edit, and paste the URL over here and click save. So once this is updated, now we'll go back to our website and we'll try to refresh this one, and you can see that the items are back. It means that now we have successfully migrated our MariaDB database to RDS, and even if you'll click on the order history, it would tell us the latest details of the order that we placed today. So that's it for this week's lab, and if we'll go back to our instructions over here, that's what they are talking about, that's how you will migrate the things, and once you're done, just press submit so that it can note down the grades on your grade sheet. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.